At 8, I'm in the 3rd grade, and I'm at the top of my class. School comes pretty easy for me until we get to multiplication tables. Every night, I sit at my kitchen table staring at these worksheets that seem to be written in hieroglyphics. I mean, is 9 times 8 really a number? But I refuse to let them win. And at the end of the quarter, my teacher hands me my report card. Reading, A. Spelling, A. Science, A. And math, I got a B+. Yes! When I got home, I ran to find my dad, and I handed him my report card like it was the greatest trophy in the world. Why didn't you get an A in math? Wow. I went back to my room and just sat on my bed. I stared at that B+. I had worked so hard for that. All of those grades. And somewhere in those 15 steps between the kitchen and my bedroom, I stopped being proud of it. All my dad could focus on was one missing A. And that one dismissive comment, that became my truth. My report card and I, not good enough. And that was the moment that doubt took root in my mind, and it did not let go. Often, the people who hurt us the deepest are not our enemies. They're our teachers, our parents, our coaches, people whom we deeply respect. So we take their words without questioning them. 4 years later, I'm sitting in the back of my parents' old yellow Maverick, and it's hot. The windows are up, and they're sitting up front, chain smoking. I'm in the back, just trying not to suffocate. And then I hear a rumble, and it gets louder. What is that? And then 2 F-18 fighter jets blast over the top of the car. I slide across that hot leather seat and press my face against the window just in time to see them bank right and disappear into the horizon. Oh, that is going to be me someday. And so for the next 6 years, I focus on one goal: flying Navy jets. I study the aircraft, I learned everything about the Navy, and I put in the work. Grades? Earned. Student leadership? Senior class president. Sports? Tennis. And it's finally senior year. And today is the day of my interview with the Naval Recruitment Officer. I'm ready. I pull open that door and he stands up. And he is tall, clean cut, and every line on his uniform is razor sharp. But I look him in the eye. Hello, sir. I'm here to join the Navy and fly fighter jets. You want to do what? Oh, honey. People like you don't fly fighter jets. I walked back to my car in a daze, and I just sat, gripping my steering wheel. I thought about 6 years, all those hours, all the sacrifices, and they didn't mean anything. I got very quiet. The only thing I could hear, though, was one small whisper that kept saying, "See, I told you you weren't good enough." Those 2 moments, they pressed into my mind like fingerprints in wet cement. And once cement hardens, you don't get to fix those grooves. And my groove, it carried a voice that sounded exactly like me, but it wasn't. And it was relentless. That is secondhand doubt. It's doubt and self-judgment you didn't create. You inhaled it like secondhand smoke. And it's toxic. And it can absolutely sabotage you and your dreams. Neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger found that our brains process social rejection the same as physical pain. So to our brain, it feels like a punch in the nose. And that causes you to flinch and get small and stop taking risks. And the more that doubt punches you, the more you protect yourself. And then one day you wake up and you realize you're someone who braces for judgment every time you walk into a room because you're expecting the raised eyebrow or the sideways glance. Or you become someone who knows the solution and yet you won't share it because there's that small chance you could be wrong and face embarrassment. You become someone who plays small and safe. What is your secondhand doubt telling you? Mine tells me I'm not good enough. I'm not ready. And my dreams, they don't matter. And I believed it. Every word of it for years. And here's what that secondhand doubt cost me. I stayed in a marriage that was slowly erasing me, my identity, my passions, my dreams. And every time I thought I was strong enough to leave that relationship, that voice would whisper, "Who do you think you are? You can't make it out there on your own." So I stayed and I shrank. And I watched friends chase their dreams. Some were novelists, others traveled the world. My dreams, they're hiding in the dark somewhere. And flying, maybe someday, when the time's right. Here's what I know now. That right time, it's not coming unless you choose it. It is only fear masquerading as responsibility. You are not going to wake up one day feeling unafraid and certain. You're going to wake up just as scared as you are right now. And you still have to make the decision to move forward. And you take a breath, you square your shoulders, and you tell that doubt, "Watch me." You see, the doubt, it never really does go away. But you can learn to stop letting it run the show. And here's one way that you can do it. The next time that voice whispers at you, I don't want you to obey it. I want you to cross-examine it and ask it, is this truth or is this just something familiar? Our brains, they love pattern recognition. So it will choose a familiar path every time, but familiar doesn't make it truth. Often it's just old echoes from the past. And the sooner that you can distinguish those two, the sooner that doubt will lose power over you. You have to stop feeding it oxygen because things without oxygen, they can't survive. You have to do this when you're scared and doubting and even shaking. And then, once you start doing that, What does that look like? You are going to notice that you have choices you never knew you had. You will stop asking permission for what you want. And you will stop shrinking. And your real self will begin to resurface. For me, it looks like me standing on the stage before you, sharing a message that my doubt told me I had no right to share. And it looks like me chasing my dream, one flight lesson at a time. I want you to think of something that you've been quietly postponing because maybe you think it wasn't meant for you, or you're not good enough. And here's what I want you to do now. I want you to tell it, and you don't have to do it out loud. I want you to tell it, not anymore. You do not get to write the story of my life any longer. You have this power. That little girl that was me, she didn't need permission to fly. She could do it all along. And so can you. Thank you.